it is just so hard to. I know what I want to say about this woman, but I don't know if I should. And the reason why I say I don't know if I should, because it's more than harsh. I mean, it's a critique of her that I believe is absolutely on point, but it's not. It is beyond not nice. It's beyond the realm of what has been normal for when you pick apart a presidential candidate. I don't want to look or sound like a liberal. Accent sounds like when they're dealing with a conservative, but I got to tell you, we can't allow this woman. We can't even really allow her to get the Democratic nomination. I know some people are saying, "Well, yeah, let her get the nomination because we'll trounce her." No, but see, that's kind of what we said about Obama, and lo and behold, now we're dealing with his second term. We cannot risk letting this woman be able to step foot in the Oval Office. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are worried about. I'm not going to be in the Oval. Well, I'll probably be in the Oval Office when she's not in there, but I'll just be going over the glory days. I won't be making policy. Well, maybe I will, because I am the brains in the whole operation when it comes to politics and stuff like that. Hillary's got her strengths. She can be a pit bull. I know she can be a pit bull, but you know what? I'm the man. And you're going to want me back in that Oval Office when the shit hits the fan. I'm telling you right now. She may be the president, but I'll be the one. I'll be the one calling the shots. You can better believe it, buddy. Do we really want them back in the White House? Can we afford to have them in the White House? I don't think so. I think if she even gets close, there is just no way she should even be close to getting into the White House. We've got to make sure that she is trounced so badly and booted to the curb so harshly that others who are similar to her, like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, won't even think about picking up the torch. I mean, this is just, it's nonsensical, folks. This woman, in my book, she's a criminal. And she should be put on trial for high crimes and misdemeanors. She should be put on trial and let a jury, let all the facts come out and let a jury decide her fate. She shouldn't be running for president. She should be looking for a lawyer. After all, I think they still have the Clinton. They can afford it now. Back when Bill was in the White House, maybe they were a little tight for cash when Bill was all that legal trouble, but they can afford it now. They got the buku bucks. We're talking millions upon millions upon millions. If they spent $10 million on a Hillary defense, they wouldn't even. I mean, hell, Bill gets $500,000 or more per speech, and I don't know how many he does a year, but for crying out loud, he only doesn't have to do many. A month's worth, and he's got that bill taken care of. Pun intended. As long as he stays off Orgy Island and other places like that, and he just, I got to pay the bills. I got to pay the bills. If I charge $500,000, I got to pay the bills. I mean, I saw something earlier today that talked about how former presidents typically, as they age out of the White House. In other words, the longer they're out of the White House, the lower their speaking fees tend to get, because they start to become more and more irrelevant and less in demand. So their speaking fees lower. But bills are the only ones that have gone up, which is really weird. Flies in the face of precedents in history. Bill he left office, 2001? And here we are in 2015. And he's commanding more today than he did back then. And, now they have this Clinton Family Foundation, and their daughter and her husband were able to purchase, a $10 million abode in New York City? Hey, $10 million for Chelsea? Seriously? And you want to tell me there's no shenanigans going on there? I'm sorry. There needs to be a full-fledged, if this were, talk about American greed. The Clintons have put on a beautiful scam as far as I'm concerned. This could be one of the biggest, if they ever did a full investigation, could be one of the biggest scams ever perpetrated on the people of the planet, not just here in America. Well, because, there are other dignitaries, governments, and other foreign people involved in donating money to this couple and their foundation and paying for, their speeches and whatnot. So there's a lot that's there. And I think that there really I'm calling for a full-fledged, full-on investigation of this woman and her husband. And I hate to say it, but, let's face it. Chelsea. I find it hard to believe that she'd be totally innocent and non-complicit in all of this when she's, what was it that I think $600,000 is her salary for the Clinton, running the Clinton Foundation, Family Foundation, or being running some part of it or what have you. $600,000 and buying a $10 million home. Hello? She's got to be complicit in some of this stuff. Again, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure. But shouldn't we not find out? And should we not find out before she gets the nomination? Well, I guess we could let her get the nomination, and then make sure we do the full-blown investigation and uncover everything, force her to resign, and then who are the Democrats going to put forth? That'll learn them a lesson. Don't try this crap. Hey, kids, don't try this at home. So, we could go down the list of things. Let's see. I don't know, suspicious behaviors and things like that when she's back at the Rose Law Firm. How did she turn? Was there insider trading? I don't think we really investigated that fully. Vince Foster's apparent suicide. I don't think that the right people did a full, thorough investigation of that incident. And we go to, she tried to be a little bit more quiet when she was senator. She didn't really accomplish anything, but then she became Secretary of State. And all of a sudden, the Clinton Foundation, and there's this pay-to-play thing that comes out. And people just want to say, well, it's no big deal. While she's a Secretary of State, we've got Benghazi. We've got, a poor reset with Russia. What was that all about? Was there some pay-to-play influence there, to screw up that reset, as she calls it? Resetting Russia? I mean, there are a number of different things going way, way back that we have not gotten full clarification or full, complete answers on. We need to get full, complete. Look, we have got the New York Times, for crying out loud, looking into Marco Rubio's meager finances. And yet they're not even touching how the Clintons went from dead broke leaving the White House to being some of the richest people in the country, worth millions upon millions of dollars. Really? How did that happen? They didn't have any jobs. Well, she was senator, but that paid less than $200,000 a year. So they didn't have any jobs. And the president's, his retirement salary as what is that? 200? He gets $300,000 a year. So, even at $500,000 a year for not really working, that's pretty incredible. Actually, wish I could do that. Huh. Well, yeah, they wrote a couple of books, got huge advances for the books, and I know Hillary's didn't do squat, didn't meet the the minimums at all, from what I understand. Didn't meet the advance that she got. Guess the publisher lost on that one. But then they have this Clinton Family Foundation thing. And all of a sudden, it's flush with cash, flush with money. They spend tons of money, and they won't, well, yeah, they talk about how transparent it is. Not very transparent. Because when you ask them, well, where's all the money going? Well, we can't tell you that. It's a private foundation. We don't got to tell you that. It's going in their pocket. It's lining their pockets. I'm just telling you, folks, that none of this passes the smell test. This all needs to be investigated further. Needs to be investigated completely, fully. It needs to be done by somebody who's impartial, who isn't in this for politics or for making a name for themselves or anything like that. It needs to be done by somebody who's above board. Somebody, I don't know who that is. But we can find somebody like that. I don't know who that might be, but yeah, we can find people like that. And they would be in charge of the investigation. They would be if any, they should also be allowed to bring down any criminal or civil charges from laws that have been broken, from rules or regulations that have been broken. And anybody who's been hurt by the Clintons should be notified of what has been found, and they should be allowed to then pursue civil litigation against the Clintons. And we need to just use the legal process to take these people down. She is untrustworthy. I mean, you can look at her and tell she's. There are people that you can look at. Well, man, they got some evil eyes, or they got crazy eyes, or they got she just has untrustworthy eyes. Aha, she's got like these, cold eyes. Like she doesn't really care. What difference does it make? Well, it makes a lot of difference. Because you're not the queen of the United States. Your husband is not the king. I know you kind of like to think that you're royalty, but you're not. We don't have royalty, for one. And two, I don't think either one of you are related to royalty, so let's not even pretend. Not about royalty. It's about loyalty. And the only loyalty that these two have, the Clintons have, are, and I'm not even going to say, well, yeah, it is loyalty to each other, but loyalty to their finances, their money, their power. That's all they're all about. Hey, folks, don't forget, tomorrow I will be out in Easton, Massachusetts. But for now, we are out of time. So this has been Rod Eccles, along with Sam over there. I'll be back here live on Friday. Until then, I'm Rod Eccles. This has been the Rod Eccles Show. I'm out.